We're going to run through 6 clips. The first 4 will be how Eddie uses the bob when Dwight commits with a jab, a lead hook, or a rear cross. Then the 5th clip will be Eddie dealing with a combination from Dwight, pulling the rear cross, then dropping under the hook. For the last clip, we're going to go deep on a long sequence between Eddie and Dwight. The first half will be following Eddie's defensive pattern. Then the second half will follow Dwight's. Oh, and 2 things to note. If you're interested in bobbing, this would be a fight to watch. Both Eddie and Dwight have it in their arsenal. And you'll also hear me use the word bob and drop interchangeably in this video. I've been chewing on what the difference is between a bob or a drop, but that'll be for another day. Anyways, let's get into the weeds. First up, we have Eddie bobbing under Dwight's jab. And one thing to note is where Eddie is bobbing. Notice his head position. He's bobbing straight down between his legs compared to having square shoulders and bobbing down off his lead foot. Let's go ahead and see that again. And there's the bob. Now here we'll have Eddie bobbing straight down over that lead foot as Dwight throws his lead hook. And there's the bob. And you could add a weave onto it. But the thought is you could bob straight down off of this lead foot right here, or you could bob to the right side of your line. Let's drive this point home. Dwight's going to throw a lead hook, but check out how Eddie drops or bobs to the right side of his line. And then notice his head position. It's between his legs. Now, the question is, why does this matter? My answer would be, it gives an idea what could come next. For example, if he bobs or drops to the right side of the line, then his rear hand is loaded. If he bobs or drops straight down on his lead foot with square shoulders, then his lead hand is loaded because his weight is on his lead foot, not on his rear foot. Okay, moving on. Next, we'll have Dwight throwing his rear cross as Eddie bobs or drops to the right side of his line. And there's the drop right there. Easy enough. And let's see that one more time. Next up, we'll see Eddie deal with Dwight's combination. So Dwight is going to throw a lead hook while Eddie pulls to his rear foot. Then Dwight's going to immediately follow up with a lead hook as Eddie drops straight down. And let's see that again. Pull, drop. Okay, for this final clip, we're going to start with Eddie's defensive patterns. First, he's going to pull the rear hook from Dwight, then slip back in. Then he's going to use the exact same technique to avoid Dwight's lead hook with a pull. And here's an interesting tidbit. Notice he added a drop right here. Had Dwight followed up with a rear cross, it would have sailed right over Eddie's back. Then we're going to start that sequence over again. Here comes Dwight's rear hook, and Eddie's going to pull and then slip back in. Now, here's where he changes the pattern. He's going to throw a lead uppercut and a rear straight. Now let's go ahead and switch gears. We're going to watch Dwight's defensive patterns. Eddie is going to throw a rear uppercut and then lead hook. And we'll see Dwight pull, then drop. And guess what happens next? Is it possible the whole sequence repeats itself? Are we going to see Dwight throw a rear hook and Eddie pull? Yes, we will.